my time with him. He's very confident. He's poised under pressure. I feel like he's going to take advantage of his opportunities and make big plays next year.
In terms of you, not only just stat-wise, but personally, how much of that Rose Bowl mean to you to be able to go out that way, just touchdown on that stage?
It was cool. It was a cool experience to be able to play, in the Rose Bowl. I remember watching my first Rose Bowl, like 05, 06, Reggie Bush, and they played Texas that year. It was just surreal to, come full circle, for sure.
And then to go back there for the NFLPA Bowl, what was that like, that experience for you?
Definitely, it was a cool experience. I didn't get to really experience, the atmosphere like I wanted to, because it was like a work trip. I was going there on business, but yeah, it was definitely cool.
Have you met with the Texans?
No, not yet. Yeah, I have.
How's your relationship with former Penn State wide receivers like KJ Hamler, for example?
I would say I talked to KJ a few occasions, but he's definitely a cool guy, and I definitely watched his highlights and watched his games this year also. So
Mitchell, you talked about not playing football until later in high school. Can you talk about some of those other sports you did play in high school and how they influenced and impacted you?
Yeah, in high school I played basketball for 3 years, and then I long jumped also in high school.
Is there anything that you learned from those that made you a better football player?
I feel like I got a lot of my athleticism, from long jumping and playing basketball, a lot of jumping and that type of thing. So I definitely think that helped me.
Mitchell, when you transferred to Penn State, did you expect to get to this point, to get to the combine, to be a part of this whole process?
Yeah, I did. That was my ultimate goal. Not just to get here, but my ultimate goal, in transferring period was, I want to play, get drafted. I want to do all those things, check all those boxes. So for me, this was all part of the plan.
What did Coach Phelps mean to you?
Yeah, he meant the world. I feel like for me, he taught me a lot. Up until I got to Penn State, I hadn't had that much, time in the slot. But, he definitely coached me up, because that's what he played in college. And I feel like for me, I learned a lot from him.
How did your Penn State experience impact you overall? Was it maybe being more in the slot and being utilized that way, just because you put up real big numbers, and then the Penn State offense a little different? It doesn't highlight you as much individually, but bigger program, maybe more pro ready.
Yeah, for sure. Honestly, I love my experience at Penn State. It was fun being there, playing at Baker Stadium every week. But yeah, honestly, I knew coming in I wasn't going to get probably the same production I had the year before, just because two different offenses. But I knew I had to take advantage of my opportunities. But being able to play in the slot and the outside, was good for me to be able to show teams what I could really do.
What's your relationship like with Bailey Zappi?
I have a great relationship. I met up with him in LA when I was out there at the NFLPA game. So yeah, he was out there for the rookie premiere, and we chopped it up, we hung out a couple of days. So
would it be cool to get and end up with the Patriots and get back with them?
Yeah, if that's how it's supposed to happen, I would love to go out there with my guy.
Who's some receivers that you looked up over the years? Do you think maybe your game is closest to, or you kind of try to model yourself after, if you have?
At the end of the day, I try to be me, but some things that I take from other guys, like I watch a lot of Stephon Diggs, I watch a lot of Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson. I like watching pretty much all the technicians, honestly. Keenan Allen, I like watching all their games. I like, for me, I like receivers that can do it all. I love all the great receivers, but I like receivers that can play slot, that can play outside, that can run every route in the route tree. That's the type of receivers I love watching.
Mitchell, is this something that you want to show off on the combine specifically?
Yeah. Obviously, I want to run in the mid to low 4.4s. That's my goal. So I want to show off my speed. Show teams that I can run also.
Any other drill that you want to show off besides the speed?
I feel like once I get to the receiver part, that's going to take care of itself. That's what I do, and I feel really confident in that. And I'm gonna leave everything out there on the field. I would say a lot of the team, they like the Auburn catch when I went and high pointed the inside fade against Auburn. Then the one-hand catch against Minnesota. That's probably one of the plays that come up. I mean that I'm a competitor. You know what I mean? That I'm gonna catch everything thrown my way. I feel like there's no ball that I can't get to when I get my hands on it.
What'd you hear at the Shrine Bowl? Because that was an experience you got to have NFL coaching staffs watch you in particular, and you got there late, but you got there from performing well a week earlier.
Yeah, say that again. What was the question?
The Shrine Bowl experience, what was that like in terms of being able to really get involved with NFL coaches, Patriots, Falcons? They were there. What did they say to you? How was that experience?
Man, it was cool. It was cool to to be able to be inside of NFL coaching staff and be able to see kind of what it's kind of like day to day and how that feels. But being able to chop it up and being able to talk to these different coaches like the receiver coach and all the special teams coaches and just see how their mind works and how they operate. It definitely was a fun experience.
Mitchell, what's some ways that you have kind of improved your ability as a route runner? Like, what steps have you taken to bring your route running out to where it is now?
I feel like for me, I feel like route running was something that I always, honed in on. But just seeing pre and post snap like leverages, because things can change, pre and post snap. So being able to know how I'm going to run my route before I have to run it. I mean, they're getting a dog, they're getting a competitor. I feel like for me, he has kind of a similar mindset that I have. He's kind of been overlooked, and I feel like for me, he's going to be great. He's going to do just fine. He's hanging around him, but he's real chill, real mellow. He doesn't really do too much. But then on the field, he's competitors. He talks a little trash here and there, but he's a fun guy to play with. He's a fun guy. Whoever gets him, they're going to be lucky to get a dog and a great teammate for sure.
Steelers?
Yeah, I met with him. Informal.
Actually, you talked about DeAndre and Harrison. In terms of the younger guys, I mean, the freshmen last year from Penn State, who among that group, in terms of the big group that came in, who among that group do you think is kind of ready to step up and take more of a role?
Just the freshmen that came in last year. Amari Evans, Caden Saunders. Those are the two right now that really come to mind.
What stood out to them in terms of?
Just how they progress over the season, as far as them learning the playbook, being ready, and, knowing what they're doing when they get out there and how confident they were.
Thanks for your time, Mitchell. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
What are you working on as a returner? That's something that you're looking at and going to be looked at. As a returner?
Yeah. I'm going to be doing I plan on trying to do punt return and kick return.
Is this something that you're working on in particular to try to get better at it?
Not really. I mean, at the end of the day, that's kind of just a hand-eye coordination thing.
Straightforward.
But obviously, in training camp and all that stuff, I'm getting a lot of reps at that and, working that. But not in this process right now, I'm not working on anything as far as returning.